Numbers chapter 9, Passover. God spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after leaving Egypt. Have the people of Israel celebrate Passover at the set time. Celebrate it on schedule on the evening of the 14th day of this month, following all of the rules and procedures. Moses told the people of Israel to celebrate the Passover, and they did in the wilderness of Sinai at the evening of the 14th day of the first month. The people of Israel did it all just as God had commanded Moses. But some of them couldn't celebrate the Passover on the assigned day because they were ritually unclean on account of a corpse. So they presented themselves before Moses and Aaron on Passover and told Moses, "We have become ritually unclean because of a corpse. But why should we be barred from bringing God's offering along with other Israelites on the day set for Passover?" Moses said, "Give me some time. I'll find out what God says on your circumstances." God spoke to Moses. "Tell the people of Israel, if one or another of you is ritually unclean because of a corpse, or you happen to be off on a long trip, you may still celebrate God's Passover, but celebrate it on the 14th day of the second month at evening. Eat the lamb together with unraised bread and bitter herbs. Don't leave any of it until morning. Don't break any of its bones. Follow all of the procedures. But a man who is ritually clean and is not off on a trip and still fails to celebrate the Passover must be cut off from his people because he did not present God's offering at the set time. That man will pay for his sin. Any foreigner living among you who wants to celebrate God's Passover is welcome to do it, but he must follow all of the rules and procedures. The same procedures go for both foreigner and native born." The cloud. The day the dwelling was set up, the cloud covered the dwelling of the tent of the testimony. From sunset until daybreak, it was over the dwelling. It looked like fire. It was like that all the time. The cloud over the dwelling, and at night looking like fire. When the cloud lifted above the tent, the people of Israel marched out, and when the cloud descended, the people camped. The people of Israel marched at God's command, and they camped at his command. As long as the cloud was over the dwelling, they camped. Even when the cloud hovered over the dwelling for many days, they honored God's command and wouldn't march. They stayed in camp, obedient to God's command. As long as the cloud was over the dwelling, but the moment God issued orders, they marched. If the cloud stayed only from sunset to daybreak and then lifted at daybreak, they marched. Night or day, it made no difference. When the cloud lifted, they marched. It made no difference whether the cloud hovered over the dwelling for 2 days or a month or a year. As long as the cloud was there, they were there. And when the cloud went up, they got up and they marched. They camped at God's command, and they marched at God's command. They lived obediently by God's orders as delivered by Moses.